Hey guys, welcome back to the Kansas franchise rebuild. In this episode, we are starting off the preseason, so let's see how good we are going to be this year. So last episode, we ended up winning our bowl game, kind of going through the offseason. Now we are in preseason, which means we need to get some recruits. So let's go ahead, look at some of the recruits. Adam Robinson, a running back, runs a 4.46. Seems super quick from Tennessee, so it might be a struggle trying to get him. 4-star guy. Let's go ahead and add him. We're looking for really speedy guys because that's how our offense is ran with that option. We're looking for really fast guys to get out in the space and kind of help that option in the game out. Now going over to the wide receivers, trying to find some guys that are speedy quick again. Looks like a couple guys here. Wallace, 6th on his list, but he is a 5-star, so we're going to go after him. Looks like Thomas here runs a 4.42. Let's go ahead and add him as well. He's actually from Mission Hills, Kansas, so we might actually get him. First overall interest on him. Second overall interest on Wes Harris, but I don't like the speed he has. Going on to the tight end spot, we're really looking for a good tight end. Looks like a tight end from Salina, Kansas, Kip Hootsey. We're going to go ahead and add him. He's not very quick, 4.72, but we don't really need a fast tight end. We're more or less looking for a tight end that just has very good possession. Also finding Sisk down there as well. Going to add him as well. Let's actually look at what we need this year. It looks like we need a center. Looking at a bunch of seniors, 2 seniors leaving there, and we only have a freshman at center right now, so we need at least one of them. We also need an outside linebacker as well, only one of them. It looks like we're losing 3 this year to the seniors. We do have 2 freshmen, 1 sophomore, so we have a few getting ready to come in, but we don't have anything this year so far. So let's go ahead, look at the tackles here. Let's try to see if we could boost our offensive line. Got a few 4-star guys that want to come. We will also be kind of looking for just offensive line every year. I don't think it's something that you can just, if we need it, we'll grab it. I think it's something you have to build every year because most of the time they don't come in as 80s. They take a while to develop, I feel like, so you have to get offensive linemen every year, and then hopefully by their junior, senior year, they're able to kind of start for you, and hopefully they're higher level. You're not going to get a freshman guard that starts. It's rare to find a freshman that's really that good. Same thing with center here. Only looks like 2 5-stars, so again, just not a lot of people that great. It looks like the first guy we have is a center, 3-star. We're going to go ahead and add him as well. So yeah, we really want to boost our offensive line throughout the year. Going to the defensive side, looks like there's a DN, Hugh Bix, awesome name. Runs a 4.54, so super fast. 4.56 down there by McCray as well. So we're going to go ahead and add Bix. He's 2nd on our list. And then let's add a few other guys that I think would be great to go after. We don't necessarily have to be on their list to go after them if we put enough points into them, but we do have to kind of extend and hope that they kind of take it on to the offseason. If they take it to the offseason, we can actually load them up with points and kind of steal them away from some big schools. That's kind of what we're doing here, but we're also making sure that we do pick up the guys we need. Going to the outside linebacker, it doesn't look like there's a lot of guys that we're going to have to choose from, so we might have to actually go after some very young guys or very guys that aren't interested in our team, and hopefully we can steal him. We do add Smith here. He's interested, but he's a 4-star. And then the next guy is a 3-star at J.R. Rogers. We're going to add him as well. Not necessarily saying that 3-stars aren't good, but if we want to build our team, we're running out of seniors that are playing well, so we have to get 4 or 5-stars to continue to look into that, top 25, even top 10. We need 4-stars and 5-stars to be able to build that team around. Going to the middle linebacker, doesn't look like we have very great middle linebackers as well. So I don't know if just linebackers don't want to come to KU or if it's a scheme we run. I'm not actually sure what makes them interested or not. But we're going to go ahead and add a 4-star, and then we're going to go up here and add. Actually, let's take away Mike Taylor. If we get a 4-star guy here at 2nd, he's 2nd interested in us. So I think we could probably pull him off. Going to the corners, the same thing. Just not a lot of corners wanting to go to Kansas. Same thing with safeties, kickers, punters. So we're actually kind of at a disadvantage right now. There's not a lot of guys that actually want to come to KU even after a great 2 years of football. So this year might be a struggle. We might be struggling, but in a good way. Last year and the year before, we got some great freshmen, so they're going to at least be able to hold down the fort for at least a couple years while we kind of get more, incoming freshmen. So not really bad. We added 29 people. We're going to go ahead and scout a few guys, see how they're doing. I'm going to kind of scout the ones that we think that we really want to know kind of what they are before we end up putting a lot of points into them. So Corey Rogers, one of those guys. We're going to go ahead and scout him. Same thing with Ryan Walker. Looks like he dropped down to 68. Ryan McMahon going down to a 65, but John Wright going up 4 levels to a 71, so that's good. Let's go ahead and do our guards here. Andrew Drowning down. Daniel Harris, 75. Huge increase there. So Drowning went up. Harris went up. Nick Long went up. Graham went down 1 overall. And Danny Logan looks like a bust. He goes down 5 overall. Skip the DNs. Kenny Carter. We're going to skip the defensive tackles as well. Let's go to linebackers. Damon Smith goes down. J.R. Rogers stays. Lionel Douglas goes up. Huge gain for him. Brett Morris barely goes up. Couple more points left. Let's look at the middle linebackers. Cameron Allen went up to 68. That's huge. See how Pendleton will do. He goes up 3, so he's a 79, so he's going to be a huge pickup if we can grab him at corner. Going on to the next thing is going to be the redshirts. Let's see who we should redshirt. Let's go ahead and do James Miller. We're good at quarterback right now. Same thing with halfback. Let's go ahead and do Rob Burton. Good there. Wide receiver, I'm going to have to do a lot of changes here because we got a bunch of actually young guys, a bunch of freshmen from last year that redshirted, so we don't really need freshmen from this year. But considering the fact that Jason Gray, yes, I'm going to change his name. Considering the fact Jason Gray is so good and so fast, he's going to be a huge part of our offense, and our wide receiver core isn't the greatest this year. So we're going to go ahead and keep him in as our freshman class. Going over to tight ends, nothing we can do there. Left tackle, got a couple of freshmen. Adam Jackson. I'm scared because last year I redshirted a freshman. I redshirted 2 freshmen that I really liked, and they ended up leaving after last year. So I'm really scared to redshirt these guys. But we're going to go ahead and do it, see how it works out. If it doesn't work out again, then I guess we're going to be forced to not redshirt him. So Gillette here is 78. Our freshman isn't great. It doesn't look like we're going to be getting a center in from our new freshman class. So let's go ahead and redshirt him. Even though he's a senior, that'll give him another year next year to play and us to kind of recruit someone in. Same thing here, left in, freshman 72. We're going to go ahead and redshirt him. Holmes is good. He's a junior. Barr, we're going to redshirt him. Going to our defensive tackles. Harrison, Foster, we're going to go ahead and redshirt them. We're going to leave the Dawson alone because it's not really going to matter if he's redshirted or not. He's not going to play. Left outside linebacker, nothing we can do there. Middle linebacker, Mike Jackson, excited for him to come in. We're going to redshirt him. And then Ryan McCoy, redshirt him. Oliver, we're going to redshirt him. We're going to do Goodman as well. And then Barry, we're going to redshirt him. So we got 4 corners ready to play, so we don't really need more than that. So redshirting the rest of them. Free safety, nothing we can do. Strong safety, TJ McNarick, super excited for him. I'm so glad we got him. And we're going to redshirt him. Hopefully he'll be back next year. I'm just worried because the redshirts last year that I wanted actually left, so I'm scared to do that this year. Going on to the depth chart, Michael Cummings, our senior, is actually going to be taken over by Reggie Robinson. He is quicker, but Reggie Robinson, as a freshman, we want him to get those reps. We want him to kind of understand the game. That way, when he's a junior and a senior, he's up in the 90s. Halfback, Deke Mitchell, I'm going to put him in as a freshman redshirt from last year. He's going to be actually our starter this year over Mills. Wide receiver, Chase, going to be our number 1 guy. He had a great year last year at number 1. Jason Gray, see I changed his name there. He's going to be number 2 for right now. We might move stuff around because I feel like he would be better at the 3rd guy. Gallagher going to get moved. Porter moved. Parmalee moved because Parmalee's later and he's only a 79, so not really needing him to have a great year because we have guys right around him that are freshmen and that can actually use the year to get better. I'm not sure what we should do with our wide receivers. We might go with Gray as our number 1 and put Chase as our number 3 in the slot. Speed difference isn't a big thing, but we know how good Chase is. And Gray is 6 foot, so he's a tall guy. We could probably shoot it his way in coverage just because he's tall. Tight ends looks good. Left tackle, let's go ahead and change something there. Let's go ahead and put the younger guy in. Broomfield, the sophomore, going to start over the senior at Peters. Just because, he's got 2 extra years. Why not start him now? Left guard, senior Damon Martin. Don't really have anybody behind him, so he's obviously our starter. Same thing, center is going to be a starting senior this year. Right guard, right tackle, I think we're probably good there. Let's go on to the left end. Ben Goodman, left end, going to be a senior this year. He's going to get the start at 79 overall. Tyler Holmes Jr., 79 overall on that right side. He's going to get start as well. Guy McKinney, 88 as a senior. He's obviously getting the start. Austin Crooks coming in at a sophomore. We thought about redshirting him, but he's been playing. He played pretty well last year. He got his time in. He played pretty well. He's going to be in the starting at 76 overall this year. Left outside linebacker Jake Love is going to lead that as a senior. Skylar Miles back from his sophomore year where he played great. He's going to get to start at middle linebacker. Kellen Ash, I don't know what we're going to do with our outside linebacker. We're going to probably play it by ear, see what happens. Our corners I'm feeling really good about. We got freshman Clint Tucker up there, 84 overall. We got Greg Allen, and then we got Williams at 83. So I'm feeling really, really good about how our corners are doing. We'll have to see how they play, but the fact that they're led by a freshman and a sophomore, that's pretty good. Going on to our free safeties, Dexter McDonald back for his senior year, All-American year last year. He's going to be a 90 overall. We're going to kind of move people around underneath him. Dominic Strickland going to be our second guy in line. Darnell Rogers is actually a freshman redshirt. I'm going to have him in at strong safety. Hopefully he can have a good year as his freshman year. We're wanting to make sure we get him playing time because we like what we see and we like what he could bring to the team. And then our kicker and punter, obviously only one choice there. Going to the kick return, Albert Mills obviously going to be our guy because he's just so good. Definitely wanting him in at a kick returner. He's been the best kick returner for how many years now. So Albert Mills going to get the start there as a sophomore. He won the kick returner his freshman year. We're hoping he wins in his sophomore year. I'm sure he will do great. He's also going to be our punt returner. Kickoff starter is not going to matter. Long snapper is not going to matter. So that is going to be the depth chart to start the season. We will mess around with it. We'll play, see who is doing good, who's not. See if we can get some young guys in that could possibly establish themselves, and we'll go from there. And then the last thing we're going to do is go over the custom schedule. We're going to add a few better people than what we have here. They started with Memphis, then at Rutgers, then at Western Kentucky before going to the Big 12. And I think we're going to move a few of these around and see what we can do. I would like to play a stronger strength of schedule just because I feel like this year we're going to be top 25. I feel like this year we could be a top 15 team, but the only way to get there obviously is to win and to win Big 12 games, but also to play a little stronger strength of schedule than a B-. I think if we start out the season playing someone that's not necessarily great, but tougher than what we have, we can kind of get a feel of how our team's going to be in the first game, kind of make adjustments, the second game or third game be a little tougher, and that way we can kind of just make adjustments and get a feel of how our team's going to do. Last year, if you remember, we got off to a very, very good start. I think we won our first 6 in a row, and then we really struggled and lost a few here and there, and just it didn't end up being the best season we wanted. I think we ended at 8-5 or 9-5, but I think this year we're going to have a better year, and I think we can definitely make a push for the top 15. So let's go ahead. We're going to put Rutgers. Let's change this out here. I think we could play someone in the top 25 easily. I think we could even possibly play 2 people in the top 25 this year. Going through the available opponents, definitely don't want to play a top 10 team this early in the season. And Washington at 14, that would be kind of a good place. We might go Arizona at 21. I feel like that's in the top 25, but they might also not be ranked there. But we are going to Arizona, so we'll keep that one there. Going into week 2, let's go ahead and add someone that's not great but not bad. We want to make sure that our guys are good. Louisville at 12. That might be stretching it. We could go Nebraska at 19. Let's go Louisville at 12. I did also add Missouri because they are a rival, so I want to make sure we play them this year. And that improves our strength of schedule from a B- to an A-. So hopefully adding those 2 top 25 teams will definitely come in helpful when we're later on in the season pushing for top 15, top 10 spot. So that's going to do it. That's everything for the preseason. In the next episode, we will go along and play the regular season. Probably do bye week 1, kind of go over recruits, that type of thing, and then probably end up playing the second game. So we will probably have gameplay in that next episode. If you guys like this episode, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Also, feel free to hit that red subscribe button. Till next time, Slacker out.